It was a grey morning, the kind where sadness seems to condense in the raindrops sliding down the window. Marta sat in the corner of the sofa, watching the parade of heavy clouds in the sky. The house was silent, broken only by the whisper of the rain. She felt the weight of depression, a shadow that seemed intent on swallowing every remaining bit of light in her life. Marta saw herself as a passive spectator to her own suffering, a mere ghost wandering the corridors of her troubled mind. But on that morning, something changed. Perhaps it was the sound of the rain, or maybe the density of the heavy sky, that brought forth a new clarity like an unexpected lightning bolt. Marta had a profound insight, almost like an epiphany. Suddenly, she realized she no longer wanted to be dominated by pain, that she didn't want to be a pawn in a cruel game where she was always the loser. It was as if the rain outside had washed away part of her mind, revealing a truth that had been hidden for so long. She stood up, not with the firmness of a warrior, but with the determination of someone who had finally seen the path ahead. The pain that once seemed like an endless prison was now seen as an enemy that could be faced. From that moment on, Marta decided that her life would no longer be defined by a shadow that always followed her. With her heart still pulsing with uncertainty, she made the crucial decision. It was time to seek change. It was time to transform her own existence and create a new reality where pain was not the protagonist. The insight was the catalyst that set off a series of moves that would change everything. Marta began to rise from the darkness, not because the path was easy, but because, for the first time, she saw a real possibility for change. It was as if the rain was washing not only the city but also the residues of despair that had accumulated inside her. Marta's decision was made, and she knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy. Determined to change her life, she embarked on what would be a true journey of transformation. The first step was to seek professional help, an act that, for many, might seem simple, but for Marta was an act of courage. She dove headfirst into intense therapy, where each session was a confrontation with the limiting beliefs that had taken root in her mind. Therapy was like a mirror revealing hidden wounds and layers of insecurity that needed to be dismantled. While dedicating herself to internal work, Marta also began to explore the realm of self-care. Meditation, once seen as an abstract concept, became a daily practice that helped her find a space of calm amidst the storm. Physical exercise, which once seemed a Herculean task, became an essential ally, not just for her body but for her mind. And balanced nutrition, which had seemed a distant goal, finally fit into her new routine. Each small change was like a piece of a puzzle that slowly began to form a clearer picture of well-being and self-acceptance. The journey wasn't a smooth road. Marta faced obstacles and moments of doubt, as if navigating a stormy sea. But with each small step, each minor victory, she started to notice subtle changes. Her view of herself began to transform, and like a painting gaining color, her perception of the world around her began to shift. It was as if the sun was starting to break through the clouds, bringing new light with every challenge overcome. Over time, these small changes began to come together, forming a new reality for Marta. What had seemed impossible began to become tangible, and the journey, despite its hardships, proved to be a path to true transformation. It was as if Marta herself was being reborn, shaped by an inner strength she didn't know she had. 3. As Marta progressed on her transformation journey, she realized that her surroundings played a crucial role in her recovery. Toxic relationships that once seemed harmless began to reveal themselves as anchors keeping her trapped at the bottom of sadness. So, with renewed courage, Marta made an important decision: to distance herself from those connections that, in some way, were feeding her depressive state. It was a delicate process, almost like dismantling a puzzle that no longer made sense. Marta started reducing contact with people who didn't add anything positive to her life. Instead, she made a conscious effort to seek out new friendships and reconnect with old acquaintances who had made a positive impact on her past. These new connections were like rays of sunshine on a cloudy day, bringing with them a breath of fresh air and new perspectives. Each new encounter and each reconnection were like steps on a path illuminated by new possibilities. These friends and acquaintances not only offered support but also inspired Marta to see life in a new light. They shared stories of overcoming adversity, offered words of encouragement, and most importantly, helped rewrite the narrative of her life. From these relationships, Marta began to feel the warmth of a social network that valued and encouraged her. Over time, this renewal of friendships and relationships transformed into a true support circle, a network that not only celebrated her victories but also offered a comforting embrace during adversities. Marta's life began to intertwine with the positive energy of these new and rekindled friendships. And little by little, she realized she was creating an environment that truly fostered her growth. This renewed social circle was not only a reflection of her internal transformation, but also a catalyst for continuing forward. Each new friendship, each restored relationship, was a reminder that the world still had much to offer and that Marta was finally surrounded by people who valued her true self. As Marta's personal transformation solidified, she knew the next step was to redirect her career. She had spent so much time stuck in a job that didn't fulfill her, a routine that felt like a shadow in her life. Now, with a renewed sense of self-acceptance and courage, Marta decided it was time to explore new professional opportunities. The field she chose had always fascinated her, a passion that had been set aside due to fear and insecurity. But now, armed with the strength from her internal transformation, she dove headfirst into a new journey. It wasn't just a career change. It was a leap into a territory that made her heart race with excitement and her spirit vibrate with new possibilities. The beginning was challenging. Each day was a new lesson, each task a new opportunity for growth. Marta faced obstacles and moments of doubt, but something had shifted inside her. The work, which once seemed intimidating, now was a fertile ground for personal and professional development. The achievement of her goals, no matter how small, brought a sense of purpose and pride that she hadn't experienced in a long time. As Marta began to master new skills and receive recognition for her efforts, her self-esteem began to blossom. The mirror, which once reflected a tired and disillusioned image, now showed someone rediscovering and valuing herself. Each success, each new goal reached, was proof of her capabilities and the ways she had changed. This new job wasn't just an occupation, it was an extension of the new Marta, a visible testament to her transformation. The passion for the profession reignited a flame within her, and each day became a new opportunity for growth and learning. Instead of being a passive spectator in her life, Marta was now an active protagonist, shaping her future with courage and determination. Marta's transformation didn't stop at her career. It extended to the very core of her daily life. Determined to create a new standard for her existence, she embarked on the most radical change of all, rewriting her routine. Every aspect of her day-to-day life was carefully restructured, as if she were drawing a new life from a blank canvas. Marta started by incorporating new daily habits that had once seemed like distant dreams. She carved out moments for leisure and reflection, knowing they were essential for her well-being. These breaks became the foundation of her new routine, providing space to breathe and assess her progress. Morning meditation, outdoor walks, and dedicated reading time became integral parts of her days. Additionally, Marta set personal and family goals that had previously seemed unattainable. Each goal, no matter how small, was a step towards a more balanced and meaningful life. She began to plan her time with more intention, adjusting her schedule to ensure space for what truly mattered: her passions, family, and relationships. Maintaining this new routine wasn't easy, and the required discipline often challenged her determination. However, over time, Marta began to notice a subtle but powerful change. The sense of control and satisfaction that had once seemed out of reach began to become a reality. Life, which had previously unfolded in a chaotic and disordered rhythm, was now lived in a fuller and more rewarding way. Each new practice, each small adjustment, was like a piece fitting perfectly into a larger puzzle. Changes that had once seemed like distant dreams became the new norm, shaping a daily existence that reflected her true aspirations and values. Marta was finally living a life that not only aligned with her deepest intentions but also made her feel fulfilled and at peace with herself.